Thanks for coming, everyone. So this is on sports nutrition. So first question, why is proper nutrition important? Anyone?
Be healthy.
Yeah.
Gives you a better lifestyle.
Okay. Good. Yeah.
Eating better.
Yeah. So like changing your diet, getting rid of certain foods will improve your energy, right? Any other ideas?
Gives you fuel for the day.
Good. So like food is fuel. We can't really get through workouts without eating. So
Better skin.
understand. There's all kinds of benefits, really. So let's talk about more specifically in sports. So as athletes, when we are lifting weights, working out, exercising, biologically, like where my kid makers at, what are we doing to our muscles? Breaking them down, right? So when we're lifting those weights, we got our engineering major answer here. So when we're lifting weights, right, we're breaking down these muscle fibers. So obviously to build back these muscle fibers, sleep, of course, and just resting will help them build back up. But more importantly, food is what really kind of builds these muscle fibers back together. So that's why eating properly is so important to like build that muscle as an athlete. It'll help you recover, feel less sore, and it's really important. So the amino acids and minerals in lean proteins. So on your grocery list you have, and I handed out to you guys, you have some sources of lean proteins. Okay, and it says the amino acids and minerals in these lean proteins, such as, what would be an example of a lean protein? Find anyone? Chicken, good. So chicken is lean protein. So the amino acids and minerals in chicken or such as dairy will help you specifically rebuild torn muscle fibers that result from intense workouts. Okay, so additionally, eating bad foods will not necessarily do this. Okay, so if we're putting bad food into our bodies, we're therefore also going to feel more sore from our workouts, and we're not going to be building as much muscle. So they say that working out is what, like 20% weight room, 80% kitchen, which is really true. Okay, so if you're working out really hard and you're fueling your body with food, you're not going to be getting the results you want. Okay, because if I go run for an hour and then I go eat a cheeseburger, it's kind of counterproductive, right? So that's why sport nutrition is so important. Also, some other benefits is you'll last longer in your training sessions, delay fatigue, recover, build muscle strength, it'll help you concentrate. That's especially important with eating breakfast. So eating good breakfast will help you concentrate the rest of the day, help you ready awake for your morning classes. I know you guys have morning workouts when you practice, so eating breakfast is super important for that. We'll go over that later. But also can help with decreasing injury. So if we're putting bad food into our body and constantly breaking down those muscles, then we're more likely to get injured, right? And also if we're feeding our bones and our bones strength with the calcium and the minerals that we need for good, healthy bones, then we're less likely to get injured. Okay, so there's lots of benefits to having a good diet. Okay, so we're just going to transition into what does this really look like? What does this proper, healthy, nutritious lifestyle really look like for you guys? So there's 4 steps I have for you guys to kind of take away from today. The first is to gain awareness of your current eating habits. So the first thing you kind of have to do is kind of evaluate yourself, see where am I at? Am I eating healthy? Am I not eating healthy? Okay, so let's see. What's your go-to snack? So you just got out of practice, you're on your way to class. What's your go-to snack?
Goldfish.
Goldfish? Okay, is it regular? Is it whole grain?
Regular.
Okay. So that goes with this, right? Small change. So you're eating goldfish as a snack, switch over to whole grain goldfish. I doubt you would notice the difference, honestly. Okay, what else?
Dried mango strips.
Dried mango strips, that's good. So that's a really good one because it's healthy, and also you just got done working out, so you've lost some of your sugars from sweating and all that activity. So those mango strips are going to replenish your sugars. Okay. What else?
Trail mix.
Trail mix, that's a great source. So trail mix is really energy dense, high in protein, help you get those lean proteins that will help those muscle fibers recover. What else? Granola bar. Okay, so that's good. That's always easy to pack with you for the day. So now let's talk about your cooking dinner. You're home from your long day. What's your go-to dinner look like? Pizza. Okay, so let's talk about pizza. All right. So how is pizza gonna help your body recover?
Carbs.
Okay. So you're getting some of these aspects that you need, right? You're getting carbohydrates. You're getting your dairy from the cheese, maybe some protein from pepperoni sausage, right? But these are not the correct forms of what we want. So we want those whole grains. We want low-fat, lean dairy products. We want lean proteins such as chicken rather than sausage and pepperoni. So it's these simple changes that we can be making into our diet. Okay, so the second step we have is to get educated. So that's what you're all doing now. So the first thing you kind of should do is kind of look at where you're at now, and then you're going to take what you learned from today and you're going to plan. Okay, so every day you should go into the day thinking, this is what I'm going to eat. Okay, so it shouldn't be, I'm just going to wing it, because then you'll end up at Panda Express eating at the Sierra Center some Chinese between your class and practice. Okay, so if you plan ahead in the morning, you say, I'm going to have this for lunch, I'm going to pack myself lunch. Not only does that save you money, it helps you pack a more nutritious meal that will be better than stopping and spending money at Panda Express or somewhere on campus. Okay, so planning ahead is really important. Eating is something that should be a priority. Okay, so it's not something that we should just, I'm going to put this off. It should be a priority to your day, because it's really going to help you overall be better, healthy, be better athlete, all these things. So last thing is to put simple goals into action and make small changes. Okay, so from today, I'm not asking you to cut all these things out of your diet. So I think in the media, especially, we hear about all these fad diets. You hear about the paleo diet. Okay, so one reason the paleo diet isn't good for you because it cuts out all of the carbohydrates, right? So as athletes, we need carbohydrates because carbohydrates is where we essentially get our energy. So biomakers know that. You get energy in the form of ATP, which comes from glucose, which is found in carbohydrates, right? So we need carbohydrates. There's all these fad diets. So what's another one? Like the juice cleanse diet. Atkins. Okay, so there's all these fad diets that really just aren't realistic. So you may do them, maybe able to follow the diet for maybe 10 days, but after that you're back to Pizza Hut eating a pizza, and you're like, oh, I'm skinny, I lost 5 pounds from my diet, but you're gonna gain it back, and probably even more. So that's why these drastic changes to your diet aren't good. It's not what I'm asking you to do. I'm asking you to make small, simple changes to your diet that will improve your overall well-being. Okay? So these are 4 steps you can make to be more nutritious, okay? So let's talk about some of these simple diet changes, okay? So one of the most important diet changes you can make is eating breakfast, okay? So especially for you guys with morning practice and morning weights, raise your hand if you eat breakfast before your practice. Okay, so most of you do. Okay, so let's talk about it. Do you think you will be able to have as much energy if you were to go to practice on an empty stomach, or if you ate before? Right? Food is fuel, right? So that's how we want to think about our food. What we're going to put into our body is what we're going to get out. So it's really, really important to eat breakfast. For you guys, you may be thinking, for those of you that don't eat breakfast, you may be like, oh, I don't want to feel sick from a big breakfast. right? Or maybe I just don't have time. Well, there's really small, simple breakfasts that you can have, you know. So have a banana and peanut butter. That's not too much that'll make you sick. Have a bowl of oatmeal. Okay, that takes 5 minutes to eat, made. But breakfast is really just the most important thing you can do because it gets your metabolism going, gets you started, get you energized to go through the rest of your day. Okay. So another simple diet change is to watch your portions. So we'll go over this later, but I think you'll be surprised at portion sizes and how far off like we are from portion sizes in general, especially as a society like in America, we're pretty far off from correct portion sizes. Is that, Paula, do you think that's maybe something you noticed when you came to America?
Yes.
So in Spain, there may be probably different portion sizes, like smaller, and then the plates here are bigger. Yeah? Okay, so we'll go over that later. We'll go over what proper portions look like. The third one, really important, eat your vegetables, right? So this is one that we're probably all missing. Like raise your hand if you generally enjoy vegetables. Okay, so some of you generally enjoy vegetables, but for a lot of you, it's something that's like, oh, I don't want to eat my vegetables. Because vegetables are packed with all the phytochemicals, with all the minerals, vitamins that we need that are essential to our diet. Okay, so there's easy ways to include them into your diet without necessarily just eating vegetables. Okay, so let's think about a simple change we can make to our diet to eat more vegetables. How about instead of just eating a sandwich with turkey and cheese, we put some spinach, tomato, maybe some green peppers. So like add some vegetables to your sandwiches, or you're making spaghetti. Chop up some spinach, some onions, some peppers, some mushrooms, throw it in your pasta sauce. Okay, so you can include vegetables into your diet without actually just eating raw vegetables. Okay? So another one is choose lower fat cheese and milk. How many people are skim milk drinkers? Anyone? What type of milk do you guys drink?
1%.
Almond milk? Almond milk is good. 2%? Okay, so what we want to be looking for is probably 1% skim, and if you're drinking almond milk or some type of nut milk, make sure it's unsweetened. Okay, so that'll get you. So we'll go over that later. We're gonna touch on sugar a little bit, touch on nutrition labels, but what we want to be looking at is lower fat cheese and milk, because although these are good sources of fats, we don't necessarily need all the fat that 2% almond milk is giving us. Okay? This one, avoid creamy salad dressings. Okay, so if you're eating salad, what do you put on it? Ranch. Right? Okay, so one of the best changes we can make is to, instead of putting ranch on it, change it, swap it out with some vinaigrette. Okay, so vinaigrette is much healthier, has some oils, which will provide us with the healthy fats that we need. It's much lower in calories. Okay, so if you're loading your salad with a creamy ranch dressing, you're not really intended to do anything, right? You're eating salad to be healthy, but then you're putting the ranch on so it tastes good, but the ranch is defeating the purpose of the salad. So just kind of be mindful, okay? Avoid high-calorie condiments, okay? So, ketchup lover in the back. Ketchup on everything. Who else loves ketchup? Who else puts ranch on everything? That's a Midwest thing. I know that. So yeah. What about mustard, mayo? Put mayo on your sandwiches. Okay, so instead, let's think. Okay, instead of putting mayo on our sandwich, because no one really likes a dry sandwich, right? No. So instead of mayo, instead of mustard, instead of ketchup, we can swap that out with plain Greek yogurt. Okay, you can mix some plain Greek yogurt with some sriracha or with some chipotle sauce and have a nice little. It tastes very similar to mayo because plain Greek yogurt isn't sweet. So just an unsweetened kind, it's kind of bitter, similar taste to mayo. Okay, so that's a good easy change we can make, or we can put avocado on, because avocado is creamy, makes the salad or the sandwich real nice and not dry, I guess. It provides you with those healthy fats that you need, okay? So avocado's a good choice. Avoid added sugar. We'll go over this later, but sugar is really hidden in almost everything that we eat. So when we're reading those nutrition labels, we want to watch out for this added sugar. Okay, and this one's my favorite. So this one's have a bedtime snack. So this is, as athletes, right, this is really important. So especially for you guys with morning practice, okay? So you want your body to have that fuel for the morning. So it's recommended to have a bedtime snack. But as a bedtime snack, what are we talking about? What's your average bedtime snack?
Cereal.
Ice cream?
Puppies.
Okay, ice cream's necessarily not the best choice. Popcorn's a good snack, but necessarily, like as a bedtime snack, we want to choose something that is a protein, okay, so that it'll last the next morning, get us through the night, keep us full throughout our sleeping, and kind of give us some energy already in the morning. So we want to choose a protein and a carbohydrate, okay, and we want to choose a simple carbohydrate, so that would be something not processed, okay, so that would be our whole grains. So as a bedtime snack, one of my favorite things to eat is I have whole grain waffles. I put some peanut butter on it and some blueberries. My favorite thing ever. It's delicious. Or you could have a low sugar cereal with some low fat milk. That's good because I love cereal at night. And that's a pretty go-to snack with mine. What else we could do? You could do cottage cheese. That's a great source. Anyone like cottage cheese? Cottage cheese is great because it's a slow digesting protein. So as we're sleeping overnight, it'll kind of, our bodies will take a longer time to digest it, which is nice because we'll be sleeping and not be doing things. Okay. So these are just some simple diet changes that we can make. And one of also the simple diet changes that we touched on is switching from regular to whole wheat, right? So to sample, we have some whole wheat bagels, okay? So everybody come up with some bagels.
Did you get, Nish, did you bring some cottage cheese for us to split that with?
No, it doesn't come too good.
Or some avocado? I haven't done that.
It's really juicy. It's a little bit old.
Hey, is it good to add like honey to say cottage cheese and like yogurt?
You can do that.
Natural sugar.
Cottage cheese. It's like yeah, it's like it's nice for it's good. It's definitely you have to that. It's not like that. There's whole grain plain and there's nothing special. There's whole grain plain and there's no special combination. Yeah. I mean,
I can go try this. I can work this. Let's have this mission tell me. Can you switch
That's
it?
pretty.
You're in a red light. I promise you that. And if not, you're in a red light. The big one.
he's probably just here.
Getting this whole not cheese set.
He's so accomplished.
What about the stress?
This, and then think about it for us.
Yeah, we might have another. If you guys have two.
I got
It's holy. That's fine.
You're fine.
but I got also other teachers.
I'm very proud about my playlist.
Do you want one?
If everyone has two, they'll still be too long.
Actually, no.
There's 15 left. That's gonna be counts.
Really? Wish it.
She would eat all week.
That's what it is, too. All of the African food.
What? No, it's my birthday. So what are some things that you guys are already taking away from this?
The low-fat cheese
Okay.
and the unsweet.
Yeah. That's a killer.
Eat breakfast.
Eat breakfast, it's huge.
What's your thoughts on vegan?
Vegan. There are many benefits to being vegan actually, just because you're getting a lot of vitamin minerals from vegan. But it's difficult to find proteins that you need, just because most vegetables, fruits, and such are not high in protein. So as a vegan, especially as a vegan athlete, you're gonna have to eat a lot of beans and legumes. It's one of the things that are high in protein, because kind of eating proteins in our diet. But being vegan, Alright. So let's talk about this little picture here. This is 9 everyday superfoods, okay? So these are all 9 things that you can easily include into your diet, okay? So let's break it down one by one. Brown rice, okay? So you're making dinner, you're cooking up some rice as a side, because let's be honest, we all eat rice pretty often as a side. It's easy and simple. But instead of eating white rice, let's have brown rice, okay? Eggs, okay, so eggs are super lean in protein, great breakfast, okay? Herbs and spices, so this one's a little weird, so you might not think about this, but many herbs and spices have a lot of health benefits, okay? So some are even known to reduce your risk for cancer and stuff like that. So cooking with herbs and spices is really good for you. Nuts, okay, so nuts are very energy dense, good source of fats and proteins. We want to be careful, especially with nuts and peanut butter, we want to be careful of our portion sizes. Okay, so it's very easy to go and pick up like multiple handfuls of trail mix of nuts and eat them, right? And you're thinking, oh, we're eating nuts, this is good, it's really healthy. But if our goal is not to put on weight, which it may be, so if that is your goal, go ahead and pick up a couple more handfuls. But if it's not your goal to put on weight, you're going to want to watch how much you're eating of peanut butter and nuts. And I'm very guilty of that because I enjoy them. But in general, 1 handful of nuts is about as much as you need, and 2 tablespoons of peanut butter is the recommended serving size. And that's pretty unrealistic, but you gotta watch out for those serving sizes. Okay, so apples, easy way to get your fruit, a serving of fruit in for the day, easy pack with you on your backpack. Apple things, popular, right? So it's full of the minerals and vitamins you need. Beans, great side to have. So we're talking about the vegan diet. It's a great way to get your protein in if you want to do that. They're a good source of that protein. Touch on peanut butter, oats. Oats are packed with fiber, they're packed with protein. They're a great way to energize you in the morning, okay? Because they're full, they take your body a long time to digest, so you'll be full longer, and you'll have more energy for a longer time. So oats are a great breakfast. And then olive oil. Okay, in general, I would suggest cooking with olive oil over anything else. Okay, even though coconut oil is a big fat, I suggest olive oil is probably the best source of fat we can include in our cooking. Plus, who doesn't love olive oil? Okay, good. Yeah.
What is your convention of like extra virgin or regular olive oil?
Extra virgin, doesn't matter. It's just olive oil. Yeah.
Right.
And it's like taste preference.
What
Yeah.
about garbanzo beans?
Garbanzo beans. Yeah, those are good. So any source of beans, really, beans are just a great source of protein. Okay. So these are 9 things I think that we can very easily include in our diet. Alright, so let's talk about hydration. This is really important as an athlete. Okay, so before you start exercising, it says 2 to 3 hours before. So you guys have practice at 6 a.m. Okay, so you wake up, one of the first things you do is you should be drinking a tall glass of water. Alright? So let's do a little survey. Raise your hand if you carry around a water bottle with you. Okay, most of you do. You got it right there. So these Gatorade water bottles that are given, okay, see, example A, they're 32 ounces, okay? And we should be drinking at minimum 2 of those a day.